want to see Martin ever again. I don't want him on my screen because even during the season, he wasn't even like a villain. Like, ooh, what is Martin gonna do? I'm like, I actually want him off the screen.
Yeah.
Like, he was just a disrespectful person.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Brianna's Bachelor Breakdown. I'm Brianna, your Bachelorette relationship analyst. If you love getting into the nitty-gritty of the drama and relationships, then this channel is for you. Today, we're going to cover the Men Tell All. Clearly, you can see I have a special guest joining me, my friend Robi. We went to college together. Robi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Robi. I went to college with Brianna, like she said, and I love The Bachelorette, so I'm ready to talk about it.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. So we started off with Will and Peter. They're still going at it. Will was defending calling Peter a narcissist. Peter claimed that Will has been posting negative reviews of his restaurant, his pizzeria, and it was hurting his business. And then Peter subpoenaed Will, apparently. But then by the end of the night, they called it a truce. So what were your thoughts on everything they had going on?
Peter knows he never had a chance with Michelle. He knows he had a negative chance. So he was like, I have this business I need to promote on ABC. And that's what he came to do. And he did that. So call him a narcissist, he was advertising. You see what I'm saying? He knew Michelle did not want him.
So you got that vibe even during the season?
As soon as he walked in, he knew. Like, think about it. Look at him. No offense. He knew. So he's like, I'm gonna be annoying and put my business out there, make my money. But then I did lose him when he served Will with the papers. That's when I lost him. I said, it's getting ghetto. It's getting very much fake. It's getting very much ghetto.
It was very hard to believe. Yeah.
I was like, this is just getting too, like, this is not a play.
Right.
It's not like a Tyler Perry play. That's when I lost him.
I feel what you're saying about him advertising, but I feel like he didn't succeed because I don't even know the name of his pizzeria.
It's Peter, Peter. I think it's just Peter's Pizzeria. It's hard to say, but I think that's all.
That's not clear. I don't know where he's from. So
even people probably follow him on Instagram. It's definitely on his Insta. Like, he just wanted his name out there.
Yeah,
so I bet people who like are from wherever he's from like probably have visited. Like, publicity, bad or good publicity for a business still works.
That's true.
People are like, let's try this bad pizza. Like,
yeah.
He's trying because he just kept saying pizza. Like, he was gonna make sure people knew what he did.
That's true. Okay. You can't be mad at it, I guess.
That's smart. Like, if I was on there knowing like there's no chance, like, at least I'm gonna get my money. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And he definitely has collected some coins from this, like you're saying. Yeah. But yeah, I also did not believe the subpoena or whatever. That's when
they shouldn't have let him do that. They shouldn't have let that on the stage because it turned into a play. It did.
Yeah, honestly. But I don't know if that was more Peter's doing or like the producers being like.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably the producer, and I don't know why they like allowed that. They're doing too much because with this happened later, but like this
oh my god
streak, like, it's getting too much. Like, let's
entirely
a little more serious.
Yeah, because to me, I wrote down this in my notes. Like, I felt like on the show, like Peter and Will, they had like real beef with each other. Like, I feel like they really didn't like each other on the show. But then after the show, I feel like they probably like calmed down, realized they don't actually.
It's been months. Exactly.
Yeah, and coming back to this, I feel like they were just keeping up appearances. I feel like they were like, got to get the people what they want. Like, they want to see our beef, our rivalry, And it's like, I like the drama. Like, that's why I watch this show. But I would rather have no drama and have a boring episode than have like staged and like really fake drama.
Exactly. I'd rather just have a boring, like, okay, it is what it is, than like you're putting a play on, it's all fake. Like, because they can't act. They're not actors. So like,
yeah. Especially that guy serving the papers. He was stomping out there.
Oh, that's so bad.
Shoving it in his face. I was like, this is not a real legal proceeding.
No.
Yeah. Also, one other thing that kind of slipped into this whole interaction that they didn't really unpack was Will talking about Peter's sister sliding into the DMs. Did you believe that actually happened, or what were your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell if that was like a joke. That was one thing I was like, like, is this just a joke, or they're like actually? Because I could see that being true.
I know.
But they didn't elaborate.
And when I want to know about the sister.
I mean, of course, they didn't want to elaborate on that, but they wanted to do the paper. Like, they were focusing on the wrong things. They wanted to
Honestly,
the papers, do all that mess. But, like, let's hear about the sister.
Right. Right. Yeah. So after that, we catch up with Martin. And he
don't get me started. The devil himself.
Martin, he's over here. He's saying that his statements were misinterpreted. And
himself,
right. And Will's also apparently saying that Martin had a girlfriend before, during, and after the show, but Martin is denying it. And then when Michelle comes out, she asks Martin, why he felt like it was okay to belittle her. And instead of answering, he's just like, oh, I found my soulmate. So what were your thoughts on everything dealing with Martin from this episode?
I never liked Martin. I don't get it. I don't get his bleached hair. I don't get him. I never liked him. And he definitely had a girlfriend, because when they said you had a girlfriend, he said you were in a relationship. He said, no, we weren't living together.
Right.
Which
he was answering questions.
Yes, you did. And what does that have to do with if you're in a relationship, you don't have to live together. Like, I'm confused. No one said you were married. They said you were in a relationship. And instead of saying, no, I wasn't, what are you talking about? He knew exactly what they were talking about. Mm-hmm. But he's like, no, we weren't living together yet. And then also, like, were you guys dating during the show? He's like, well, I didn't have my phone.
Yep.
And it was like, you can still be dating someone and they know where you are and they know that you can't contact them because you're on the show. So you guys never took a break. She said, go on the Bachelorette, get some, Instagram followers and come home to me. And that's exactly what happened.
Right.
He didn't really try to deny it as much as he could have. He was like, yeah, it's not true because I didn't have my phone. Like, come on now.
So what do you think would have happened if Martin had made it, like, to, like, a later stage with Michelle? Like, how do you think
he wouldn't have? Because he would have said something else offensive. Like, he was just a disgusting person. Like, something would have come up. He would have said something else that was rude the next week, like he would have said something, because he was just not a good person.
He really wasn't. Yeah. It was wild to me that he really lacked self-reflection skills. Like, I thought he could have watched the season back and been like, oh man, those things that came out of my mouth were wild. But instead he's still like, oh yeah, she misinterpreted.
But none of the men in this episode, I feel like, had any self-reflection skills. We also talk about that because Jamie did. We'll talk about Jamie didn't either.
Yep. Jamie has the worst. Yeah. So I have a question for you, and also if you're watching in the audience, let me know in the comments. Would you want to see Martin on Paradise? Do you think that would be an interesting cast member?
I don't want to see Martin ever again. I don't want him on my screen, because even during the season, he wasn't even like a villain. Like, ooh, what is Martin gonna do? I'm like, I actually want him off the screen.
Yeah.
Like, he was just a disrespectful person.
A villain has beef with other contestants, whereas Martin had beef with the lead. Like, how are you gonna be pursuing someone and then behind their back you're insulting them? Like, that's just, it doesn't add up.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be kind of here for it though, just because I like to see. Also, I think it'd be pretty funny to watch him get rejected on Paradise. Like, if he rolled in,
I would like that part.
Yeah.
I would like to see him sent home the first night and like no one talked to him. Yeah.
I definitely think that could happen. So then we caught up with Chris. This is another gentleman who is defending his statements. And Rick stated something like he was roommates with Chris at one of the whatever trips. And he said that Chris said that he's gotten with better looking women than Michelle. Chris and Olu had a moment where Olu put Chris in his place. What did you think of everything dealing with Chris?
Olu in the orange suit, talking about Black excellence with everything. He looked so good. Like, he was doing it all. I love Olu. So I love that moment for him. I love that he got that moment to talk about because the low IQ comment was weird. Like, that was a little racial. It seemed like it had a little racial,
it was racist but it was like a microaggression.
Exactly.
On its face, like, oh, I just don't think you're smart. But it's like, why though?
Yeah, you gotta, like, it was just, but I'm happy Olu got his moment. But yeah, I believe Rick. I think Chris definitely said that. Yeah. I don't doubt it. And I think Chris was just, like the whole time he was there, he knew he was gonna go home soon, so he was just doing whatever he could to just get a little more screen time, again, get a little more followers. But I don't think it worked because he's forgettable. Like I forgot he was on the season until now. Like nobody
Honestly,
really cared.
Yeah.
He tried it, didn't work.
Yeah.
Go get with prettier girls then. With your
right.
no Instagram followers. Bye. Like
right.
Like no one care.
I feel like he's another person that it's like he didn't necessarily have beef with Michelle, but it's like, what purpose does it serve to be telling someone else, "Oh, I've gone with prettier girls than Michelle"? Like, what do you want me to do with that information?
But
I don't believe you. And
it shows you like how like crazy a lot of the contestants are, because like why would you say that behind the scenes? Because you're competing with these people, like
right.
You're telling them, oh yeah, I don't really like Michelle, like she's so mature, or I've gotten with prettier girls, or I hate like. If you're really like, first of all, why are you thinking this and staying on the show? Like you can leave.
Right.
Second of all, why would you tell people who are contestants you know are going to tell other people? It's just like it's just weird. Like there's no thinking there. Like men are a little slow. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's honestly lucky that these contestants didn't use that against him. Like if I were Rick, I would immediately find a way to kind of work that into a conversation or let the other guys in on that. Like he's really he told that to Rick, because I feel like Rick was not in the drama. If he had told that,
yeah, he didn't want to start anything. Exactly.
Yeah. So, oh, one more thought that I had about like the Olu interactions. Did you catch when I guess it was Tayshia and Kaitlyn were asking Michelle if she felt like she let anyone go too early, and she said she wished Olu was a person she would have wanted to keep longer if she could have.
No, I didn't even catch that really.
Yeah, she did, which really just like tugged at my heart. Like, of course, I liked all of her final four, but I always felt like Olu was that one person who I was like, he never got a one-on-one. Like, he could have had Martin's one-on-one, honestly.
I want to know more about like why she liked Martin, because I didn't see it, but like with Olu, it just seemed like he was a really good guy. She never really gave a chance. Like she never even like, or the show really never allowed them to build a connection. Like you could tell there was respect there, but they never got a one-on-one. Like they never got to build that connection. Because I feel like he might have been in the top 3 if they actually like
honestly
spent time together. But like that was just never. It was weird.
It was weird because like if I were her and I had an Olu in my cast,
I'd be like one-on-one the first week. Exactly. Like it was weird.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. So then we get to the true villain of the night, Jamie. And he's walking out, he's very smug, complimentary, kind of blowing kisses at everyone. And then all the guys start coming for him. So what were your thoughts on like Jamie's first appearance before Michelle kind of came out?
I think we really got to see what was really happening, because we didn't know that Jamie was so like nice to everyone in the house. Like he was like a motivational, but he was like motivating everyone, being this like nice guy. So then when he did that and did the thing talking about what's his name? Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Yes,
the
Joe.
Light-skinned baller.
Yeah, people really were shocked, because we were shocked, but like I get why they were more shocked, because he was like this like, even like I don't know, like he would group everyone together and really like motivate everyone and compliment everyone. He's just a liar. He's just a scam. He's a scam artist.
Honestly,
like those motivational speakers, like who are you got it, and they're like doing stuff in the back, stealing your money. Like that's just who he is. Yeah, and that's okay, because it's just who he is from the deep down. He's just a scam artist.
Yeah, but he like doesn't own it or acknowledge it.
It's weird, but he's consistently a scam artist.
Very consistent. Yeah,
it's consistent.
Were you
There's
surprised?
No self-reflection there, but
what'd you say?
There's no self-reflection or like accountability. So yeah,
no self-reflection, and that's what really blew me, because like these other like mini villains like Martin and Chris, like even though I felt like they still stuck by what they were saying, they were like, yeah, like I meant what I said at the end of the day. But I feel like they still kind of came back and they were like, okay, I see why that made you upset, or I see why you felt a way about me saying that. Jamie, on the other hand, had none of that. He was just like, I said what I said and you had a problem with it, so it's your problem. Like, what? How, after watching that back, is that your thought process?
It's just a scam artist. Like, I don't even, it was weird, because just I don't know, the way he talks, it's just like he goes in circles, like he's just trying to avoid every question, even if it's a basic question. Like he's delusional. That's
Yeah,
the best way to put it. He's just
that's the
very
only
delusional.
explanation, because he's
Yeah, he's
really
just very
believing his
delusional.
own lies at this point.
And I never got why Michelle even like liked him. Like he's not giving what he's supposed to be giving physically, emotionally,
Yeah,
personality. To
yeah.
me, because like he'll make weird. This way, like he carries himself is just weird. Like it gives me scam artists. I don't
Yeah.
know, creepy.
It might
Like
be like the effect he has, like you were saying, like he kind of conned all the guys in the house and like built them up. Were you surprised that that was kind of his role that he apparently was playing in the house?
I wasn't surprised, but it made sense. Like I was like, oh, it like pieced everything together. I was like, oh, so he was really just truly two-faced. Like he was
Out
truly
here.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like I'm not shocked anymore that he did this because he's just truly crazy.
Right, right.
Because I was like, what happened? Like, why would he do? Like, no, he's consistently just like a two-faced, like scam artist kind of vibes. Like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was really out here. So then Michelle comes out and she of course addresses Jamie. And one thing I guess was a theme in their conversation was they like thought each other had like a coaching role or like a coaching personality or whatever. And Michelle's like, oh, you don't deserve that title because a coach doesn't like tear people down behind their back. And then he kind of gives a cop-out apology that's like, oh, if you felt upset, like, I'm sorry. And then Michelle's like, that's not a real apology. And then he gives like kind of a real apology. So what were your thoughts on his kind of interaction with Michelle at that point?
it was consistently delusional. Like he just wasn't. He just didn't get it. I don't know. Like he just doesn't get what he did. Like it's just weird. It's just bizarre. It's like he just doesn't truly get what's going on. He's living in his own universe and his own delusion where he's like this great motivational speaker coach and everyone loves him and he's done no wrong. But then we're living in reality. So it's like it was weird. It was like two different. They just were not on the same page. It was weird.
Yeah. But my thing is like, I feel like he knows what people are getting at, but like in his mind it's not wrong because he's doing it, but like he knows, he's able to pinpoint like this is the problem, but he just has like a different moral system. Because like when the guys are talking about like the whole like who was spreading the rumor or whatever, last night Jamie point blank said like, oh yeah, well no one asked me if I did it. And it's like, Jamie, were they supposed to give out a survey to every person in the house? Like,
write down if you did it. Yeah, like I didn't get
right. And he was like, well, I was going to tell you guys, but I didn't want to detract from the conversation. And it's like, Jamie, you started this conversation though. Like, this is your conversation.
It's just like no accountability in his eyes. Like he can't really do anything wrong in this. You know what I'm saying? It's like no accountability. He does no wrong. He is like you said, he's the coach. He's like this he's a great person. Like he didn't do anything wrong. Like what are you talking about?
Which is really scary, honestly, because Michelle was really feeling him for a minute. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know where that came. That's what I'm saying. I don't get where that came from. I'm happy that ended because that would have been. That's
yeah. That was a lot of question marks there. Something else that he kind of said that like, let me know if you caught this. He was like, at one point he was saying that he felt like he had to get out of there and he wanted to leave, I guess alluding to the entire season. So he kind of said what he needed to say. That. Yeah. And he said that like in his conversation with Michelle, he was like, yeah, like I think it was in reference to the spring break comment.
Oh, yes, like, yes.
I just wanted to leave. So I just said all this crazy wild stuff. And it's like, you can just leave though.
You can pack up your bags and go.
You don't have to, like, you're not trapped. Like the producers will gladly fly you home. Like you can leave. So that was just really weird to me.
It was just weird. And let's talk about the spring break comment. I truly, because he meant that she was just like being like loose and like 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 with all these men. And which then when they asked him last night, he kind of said, "Yeah, that's what I meant."
Yeah. Which is like he's another one of these guys who's like a Martin or a Chris that's like, why are you out here actively trying to date this girl if you don't like her? Like, why are you here if you have all these negative opinions about her?
This happened more in Michelle's season than usual, but I feel like maybe it happens every season, but like it coming out, is it like people don't like telling each other as often? I don't know, because like Michelle was such a great lead. It has been like she's definitely one of the best bachelorettes we've had when it comes to like overall just who she is, like beautiful, classy, whatever. So it's just like what about this season? Like, men were just really losing their minds. Like, I don't know. They were all, and these were the men nobody wanted. Like, you're 2 dating a 10, and you had to say something about her.
Honestly, just unprompted. Like, they were just out here like, giving their negative opinions, just willy nilly. Like, I don't remember asking you for that.
Exactly, and she was nothing but nice. Like, I get if this was Claire's season. I understand if it was Claire's season, honey. I would have a lot to say too.
I know.
Like, give me the camera. Like that guy did. Remember that guy was like, Claire, I think he just said, I don't like you. That happened at Claire's season.
I don't remember that, but I believe that.
He was like, you made us take our shirts off anyway.
Joseph?
Yes. Like, I had lost respect for you. So, like, I get Claire because she was really, like, delusional on that season. Right. But Michelle was the opposite. Like, she was so mature the whole time, like, so ready to date. Like, it was just like, what were they on? What was in the water?
Right. Just, like, unprompted disrespect for no reason. Like you're saying, like, there was nothing she was doing. Maybe they were just salty because they knew they didn't have a chance with her. So
that's true. I think they knew. Like, yeah, a lot of people who knew that, like, it wasn't, like, they were not number one choice.
Yeah, so they try to reject her before she can reject them. But it's like, you still look like a clown because you signed up for this show. Like, she did not request your presence here. So then we have Tayshia. Little chit chat when Kaitlyn addresses Tayshia. All the rumors around Bachelor Nation have been true. Like, Tayshia and Zach have broken up. She asked Tayshia kind of what's going on, and we get a very non-committal answer about, like, you know, I don't even honestly know what she said. And then it really affected her. Like, she was really upset, I think, about being asked this question. And then they tried to push on with the interviews, and she just kind of had to, like, excuse herself for a minute. So what were your thoughts on this segment?
I think Tayshia's been attending acting school and wanted to practice because she knew that question was coming, right? She knew for it was 30, 40 minutes into the show, they were going to ask her about her breakup. Mm-hmm. That's all, asking her about a breakup. And, you know, she said her couple sentences that, like, she hopes it works out, whatever. She still loves him, which I think is also kind of weird.
I was like,
it is kind of weird because it's like kind of manipulative. I don't know. There's something weird about, like, if this person doesn't want to be with you, I don't know. I'm saying on TV, like, I still love him, and, like, I hope everything works out. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird if on his side he just doesn't want to be with her. Like, why are you saying this? Like, what do you want out of that, like, comment? But just the way she knew this was going on, they weren't asking her, you know, about her whole childhood trauma or, you know, something like that, which is a simple breakup. But she had to cry, and then 5 minutes into the interview, she had to act like, can't do this. Like, it's just, like, it was just a lot. It was really a lot. It was very uncomfortable. It didn't really make sense. It wasn't needed in the show. She could have just made a comment at the beginning, like, for right now, me and my fiance are on a break.
Right.
Like that, and keep talking. But she had to do I still love him. Excuse me. Like, it was just really a lot. It's like, we don't need this acting. We want reality TV. Yeah, we want it to be dramatic. And of course, a lot of it's, like, you know, a little fake sometimes. But it shouldn't be amateur acting class. Like, it shouldn't go there. And I'm kind of sad that she thought she had to go there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's so true. You touched on so many good points about that. I definitely agree that, like, the checkup itself was unnecessary because it's like I said, I watched for the tea. Like, I, of course, would love to know the details of what's going on, but obviously she was not going to provide the details. She was not about to sit down and give us, like, a 40-minute special about what went wrong with her and Zach. So it's like, just keep it. Like, honestly, just keep it if you're not going to tell me everything. And also, like, it just, number one, it took away from the tell-all. Like, it was Michelle's night, kind of took away from that. And number two, it was very forced in the sense that, like, it was unprecedented, but not in a good way. Like, we've had, obviously, most of the couples break up. Like, that's just, this show does not have a high success rate. But we have not ever checked up on someone. Like, when Becca came to Paradise, the producers weren't like, so Becca, why did you and Garrett break up? Why are you here on Paradise? Like, Like, we've never had a checkup with any former lead before. So I don't know why we need to, like, check up with Tayshia so formally. Like, it was just kind of, like, weird and forced. When you were talking about like how she was like, oh yeah, I still love him, and like I don't really know what the purpose of that was, I agree. I'm the type of person, like, if you I'm very petty, so if you break up with me, I'm not gonna be the person that's gonna be like, oh, I wish you the best, I wish you well, because I don't wish that for you. Genuinely, I don't. I'm not wishing anything negative on you, but I'm also not wishing anything positive, because we had something positive and clearly it's gone away. So
it makes me question, like, what really happened? Did she actually break up with him and she's trying to look good? Like, it just made it seem weird. Like, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I still love him. She should have just said, we are not together right now.
Right. Because I would be confused sitting at home as Zach, like, what does she want out of this? Did I'm saying misinterpret the breakup?
Or is she manipulating the audience? Like I'm saying, I don't know if she's trying to manipulate Zach and getting back together, and manipulating the audience into thinking like, I had no wrong in this. Like, it was all Zach. I still love him. I want to be with him, but he doesn't want me.
Yeah.
It's just like I didn't get it was weird because she really could have said those words. We are not together right now.
Right. And I mean, but the thing is, like, she has to keep up her image and continue to get more opportunities in Bachelor Nation because she's so committed to this host influencer lifestyle, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it very well could be that she's trying to get the audience on her side.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's like, just know it wasn't me, so like keep supporting me, and like, yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't work for me because I love Tayshia, but that just wasn't her best moment.
Yeah. Maybe her acting coach should give her some different.
Need some notes.
Yeah. So then the last guy we kind of caught up with was Rodney. They played for him Michelle's reel, or like his time on the show or whatever, and he was very affected by that. And then, as you mentioned earlier, we had the guy streaking at the end of his interview, which another forced. I don't even know if I could call this drama. Like, it wasn't drama. It was just weird. It was just weird, unnecessary, like making it just seem, I don't know, not as classy and serious. Like, it's still the Bachelorette, like it's not class, but like not as like serious and sit down, like let's talk about our emotions as it can be. Like, they're just trying to make it a little too like it's not that trashy. Right. It's a little trashy. We don't want to go that bad. Right. Yeah. So what were your thoughts on just Rodney and his conversation and just his role on the show in general?
See, it was weird. So for me, I think Rodney is such a sweet guy. Like, I think his time on the show was amazing. Like, he was just all around good entertainment. You could tell he was just like a truly, like, just a good person. But they're just giving him this great edit. Like, they have people cheering Rodney, but it's like, you didn't pick him for Bachelor.
Right.
You picked Clayton, which no one likes. From what I've seen on, social media, people I've talked to, no one likes him. No one's really excited to see him on his season.
Right.
No one likes him. So it's like, you think Rodney's this great man, so cool. Then where's his check? Like, why is he not on The Bachelor? Hopefully he's in Paradise. But it was just where they want to give him this like amazing edit, perfect guy, but then they can't cast him. I don't know. It was kind of weird to me. It's like, why are you giving Rodney this hype, but you couldn't give him that hype when it was time to cast?
Yeah, no, that's actually a question that I had written down for you, like, and for the audience too. Leave me a comment on your thoughts. Would you prefer to see Rodney on Paradise, or would you rather see him as a Bachelor? Like, if you were given the choice?
That's hard. I just want to see him again, but I think he'd be great on Bachelor in Paradise. Yeah. I think he would also be I think he'd be one of the first Bachelors that's actually really genuinely looking for love. We haven't had a lot of those. We've had a lot of Bachelorettes that are, but a lot of Bachelors are just there for fun. Yeah. Let's be honest.
And emotionally mature. Because a lot of these Bachelors come on here for some free therapy, a lot of unresolved issues. And because
there's been rumors about Clayton that he is not ready for a serious relationship, that he's, a playboy where he's from. So like, I think Rodney is like mature, ready. Like, that would be great to see a lead who actually wants to be with someone.
Yeah.
And is ready.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of weird. They're like, oh, Rodney, but no, you can't be on The Bachelor. We're going to choose this random guy no one wants.
Right. I feel like it's another like Mike Johnson type situation where like everyone really wanted him, and then the producers bent over backwards, like 5 seasons backwards to pick Ari.
Yeah, that was weird. Then they had the chance. again, and they chose Matt James. Remember, people were like that they wanted a black bachelor so bad, and they chose the weirdest one.
Honestly,
the weirdest black man they could find. It's like they went on a hunt because that man was
not giving
anything. Yeah. Nothing. Mm-mm.
And someone we didn't know as well. That's like my biggest pet peeve in The Bachelor, when they choose a lead who we don't know, because clearly it never works out.
It never works out. There's no connection there.
Yeah.
Because people didn't like him, and I don't know if people like Clayton. I don't know. Yeah. I think his season will be good, but I don't think people will like him.
I think, yeah, exactly. I think, especially based off the trailer from last night, I think
because COVID's over-ish.
What'd you say?
I think I feel like it's gonna be the first season where COVID isn't like
we're back
as
to
much.
Traveling and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's going back to like the original, like, you know, like giving people that feeling, but Clayton is just, he honestly reminds me of Colton.
I mean, definitely.
And I think he is, like, I think in that way.
Football player.
And I think in a way he is very similar to him when it's like emotionally unavailable, obviously for two different reasons. Completely different reasons. But I think he's gonna give that same just like, ooh, like, I don't know, kind of like waste our time.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, it's just The Bachelor doing what they need to do. Like, they're going back to their kind of status quo in a sense. You know, they're like, okay, we gave you Tayshia, Matt James, Michelle, you're done.
We did it. Are you happy, Blacks? Now let's get back to the regular programming.
Yeah, honestly. So, well, that was about all the questions and thoughts that I had. Did you have anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to bring up? Or any future like thoughts or predictions about what you think will happen?
I really don't know. I was thinking about this, like, who's going to be the top two, and I truly don't know. I cannot decide between Joe and Brandon, because I think Brandon's just shown his love so much more, and I think that's very, very attractive. Like, if I was Michelle and this guy was like pouring his heart out to me, I'd be like, you, because Joe is just so quiet. He's too quiet. Yeah. And I think if you ghosted me before and now we're here and you're kind of being quiet, you're not really showcasing your feelings, I'm going to feel a certain way. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to be a little like, do you even like me? Because again, you've ghosted me before and here you are kind of still being nonchalant, quiet, like not that forthcoming with your feelings. Like he says a little, but he's not like, oh my God, like I love you. Like Brandon is like, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Like, yeah. So I honestly don't know who she would choose. I would choose Brandon, but I don't know like the vibe she's getting, what she's feeling like.
Yeah. For the longest time, I feel like the first half of the season, I thought it was gonna be Joe. I was like, Michelle and Joe, final two. We'll see what's going on. But I feel like after Brandon's one-on-one is when he really like made it for himself. And I'm like, okay, he might have a chance. And he always, like you said, has been very vocal about his feelings. My only concern is I feel like even though Michelle kind of has to pull it out of Joe, I feel like she not likes that, but I feel like it's not a block for her. You know what I mean? Like me, if I had to walk someone through their feelings, like that would be a turnoff. That would get really like boring and annoying. But I think she doesn't mind it. I think she's like, okay, that's just part of Joe. Like I can deal with it. And it's not turning her off. And so in a sense, I think she's kind of like, well, we can continue to move on because she's accepted this about their relationship, you know?
I see what you're saying. Because I just don't know where she is. I really don't know. Yeah. I guess maybe it'll come down to what happens in fantasy suites. I think sometimes that's what happens. Like what's really going down? Like what? I think that's really what's gonna.
Yeah. I mean, we clearly saw with Clayton's trailer premiere that there's some decisions being made in his fantasy suites.
Yeah, because I don't know for her. In my perfect world, Brandon would be the winner. Brandon would be the winner. Yes, they would live happily ever after.
Okay, so why not Nate? Why would he not?
I don't like him. I'm gonna be honest. I know Michelle loves that man. He just gives me I love you right now. He gives me I love you right now. Will I love you tomorrow? Probably not. Like he just gives me those vibes, and I think it's like what his family said. He's just not ready for like a marriage kind of relationship. He's ready for like a, maybe we're kind of serious, but we'll see where this goes. Not like we're getting married. Right. Yeah. And I feel like he kind of exudes that. Like I don't get that from him. I don't get he's ready to get married in the next even 5 years, honestly.
Yeah, so, that's so real.
I feel like Michelle's not thinking this, but like you have to be strategic and be like, okay, I really like this guy, but is he for me right now? Like where I am in my life, is that where he is? Because I feel like they're not in the same place.
Yeah. I feel like if they had met in real life, he would be kind of the guy that's like, oh, I'm catching a vibe. I'm seeing where things go. If it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens.
Non-committal, the phrase in the book.
You think too much about the future, babe. Like, I love you.
Don't matter.
That's where he is. And I feel like for this show, for her to be like, I want marriage, I just don't think he's it.
But yeah. Okay.
But
so
she loves him. So
ideally not Nate. I was about to say that I think honestly she could make herself fit Nate's goals or expectations right now. I can see that happening. That's not my ideal world. But
what's your ideal? What would be your ideal scenario?
I was not prepared for that question.
Even top two, because you can, I know.
I might say Joe's my ideal just because like he does have this flaw of like being reserved and like not being able to articulate his feelings at the point that he should for his big age. But with Brandon, I feel like I don't think she likes Brandon as much as Brandon likes her.
She doesn't, but I think that is the best thing that could ever happen to a woman. I think that is like so rare to find. That is so hard to find. And when you find it like in a good guy, it's like, normal, like everything just like, and you like that, like I would hold on to that. Because again, with the Nate, it's like she definitely loves him more. And with Nate, it's like I think she's gonna be chasing him constantly, like, oh, I don't know.
And that's why I feel like I like Joe, because I feel like
I see Joe as a middle ground. I see what you're saying. Like Joe, I think her and Joe, and also just like their vibe, their connection from both being from, where are they from? Minneapolis.
We've only been there the whole season.
Minnesota. That they just kind of click, and they kind of really click, and I can see them together. So honestly, my perfect top two would be Joe and Brandon, but I know it's never gonna happen. But I wish Nate would leave, actually. I wish he would be a man enough to be like, I don't want a future, like I love you, I'm falling for you, but not in the way that you want or need from me.
Right. That would make her decision a lot easier, I think.
It would, and I think it would be what she needs, but he's not gonna do it.
Yeah. And she's not gonna do it for him. She's not gonna say
oh no. She's delusional because she just likes him, and she's just like not thinking.
And my biggest worry with Brandon, like I get what you're saying about like, I've definitely heard that like a woman should be with a guy who likes her more. But my biggest worry is that one day she wakes up and she has like the ick. Like she wakes up and she's like, ugh, I'm with this guy. I'm not as into him as I could be. And it's all hitting me. Like
I do see that, but I feel like she's not even close. I feel like, I feel like he's like, I don't know, like sometimes I just feel like she doesn't really like him that much, and she might be just like, well, he likes me. So that's why I do agree that I really also do like Joe, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm really just like a not Nate, because I really also do like Joe, because I can tell she really likes him and he really likes her, and he could, like, he is reserved, but I think he is actually ready for like a serious relationship.
I think so. Like, I think he can get there. I think he can get there to expressing his feelings. And, we have to remember the environment they're in. Like, I don't know how
he's on TV.
Yeah.
But I could see him getting there with Nate. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it at all.
Yeah. I don't think Nate would be able to like, or not be able, I don't think he'd be willing to make the changes he would need to make to accommodate a wife. I think Joe would be like, here's the growing that I need to do, and let's do it together. I feel like Nate would be like, well, come find me in Austin. Like, he would just
I think even with location, like Joe and Michelle would just fit. Like their lives would just be so easy to like combine, like it would just make sense.
Yeah.
But with Nate, I said, like you said, I think she'd have to chase him. I think it'd be like, well, you can come to Austin. Like you said, you can come to Austin.
She'd have to physically and emotionally chase him, because he wouldn't really
chase him.
Go back
so if they end up together, I will be shocked to see them get like actually married. Like I would be so happy, but I would be very shocked. So I'm a little. If they end up, I'll be happy, but a little bit like, worried. I'm worried for my girl. Yeah, I'll be worried for my girl, because
So if she gets with Brandon, do you see that kind of lasting long term, or do you see it kind of same as Nate? Like, we'll see.
I get your point. I do get your point. I can see that happening. It's either they get married and together forever, or what you said. Like I could see them still getting married or almost getting like being together for 2 years, and then she wakes up one day and is like, "Yeah, I don't really love you. Like
Yeah.
you love me, but I don't love you."
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that. So I think in my ideal world, just because I love Brandon, I would love to see them together. But I think for her, Joe really is the one that like I could see like longevity, like kids, marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But Michelle just seems like she's lusting.
She
She
is
wants some
100%
Nate.
lusting, and I
She
get
wants
it.
some Nate.
Yeah.
I don't like his vibe.
You
I'm not gonna lie.
okay?
I'm a Joe. When it comes to attractiveness, it's all Joe for me.
All Joe.
All Joe.
I think Nate's the most attractive. Like just
Nate gives me too bad. He gives me too much bad boy. He gives me too much bad boy energy that I don't even like want. I don't even like. It's like Joe gives me like that king cut. Like I'm cute, but I'm like
exactly
wholesome. And like I think that's
like boring snooze.
I guess I like that. Just like whole like I feel like Nate will wake up one day, all your furniture's gone, and he is too. Like I just like that. He gives me that.
I know, like if I didn't know his personality, like just looking at him on the face, like he has the height, he has the tattoos, he has the earring. It's everything.
Something about him reminds me of Martin. And I don't know what it is. Something about like I don't know that look. Like the ear, like I don't know. He just kind of reminds me like of Martin. Just like Just like I don't know.
That's like the worst thing you can say.
That is
if I were Nate, I feel very disrespected by that comment.
And then can we talk a little more about Clayton's season, like the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
So are they back in the mansion? Is that what they said that?
Okay, I'll be honest. I was up and moving around during that segment.
Okay. So because I was actually half asleep, but I rewatched it. And I think they're at the mansion, which I would prefer because I've been thinking this like as soon as Michelle's season started, they weren't at the mansion. I was like, it's just not as good when they're not at the mansion. Like just the location, like you wouldn't think it makes a big difference, but I was like, I accidentally rewatched the episode of Colton's.
What do you mean you accidentally?
I was on Hulu trying to watch The Bachelorette, and then I clicked The Bachelor, and it was like Colton was playing. I was like, what is this?
And then you just watched the whole episode?
I did. I was like, let me watch this. But I was like, wow, this is actually so much more entertaining just because of the mansion. It's hard to describe, but it just gives like that Bachelor vibe. Like they're all in the mansion. Like it just makes a lot more sense visually and just like I don't know, just like it makes the show a lot better. Like you wouldn't think it makes a difference, but it does. So I'm excited. Hopefully that they're back. Yeah, and they're sort of traveling. But I just really see him as a Colt. Like I see him as a Colton. Like
absolutely.
Just that white guy who plays football who has nothing to add to the conversation.
Yeah,
like nothing to add.
That's definitely what it's going to be. Like, I think his whole season will be about the women and about like their drama and who they are as people, as opposed to like, I'm not looking forward to getting to know Clayton. I don't think we'll get to know him. Like, I know nothing about him now. I feel like at the end of his season, I'll know the same amount of information that I know about him.
I agree. And I think another thing is he's going to give us a little pilot piece. He's going to give us some of the switch back and forth. Who do I want? I like her. I want to have sex with her, but I want to be with her.
Ever.
I think he's going to give us a mix of both. So it's going to be, but I think it's going to be a good season with the drama.
True. I'm ready for that. Yeah.
Because we didn't really get a good season with Matt James.
Not at all.
Because he was just so creepy. His presence creeped me out. I actually couldn't watch his season because he literally made me want to just puke. I hated Matt James. Like,
no, he was an awful lead. Like, he was not interesting. He was not charismatic. All he said was, "Thank you for sharing." Yeah. He was my eyes open. Like, there was nothing redeemable about
nothing redeemable. And I think with Clayton, it won't be good, but it won't be like I can't watch this.
Yeah. Like with Matt James, like he's kind of a prop in his own season. Like he's just kind of like
cardboard cutout.
Yeah. Like I'll tolerate him.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it's gonna be we'll have to do another. I have to come back because there's gonna be a lot to talk about with him.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Robbie, for joining me on this recap. Had a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.